Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Friday the 21st of August 2026. In today's Mill news, a signing has been made. Not the most exciting of signings, but a signing nevertheless. This is of course ahead of the transfer window closing next Tuesday. Not next Tuesday, Tuesday week. Tuesday the 2nd of September. Millwall Football Club is delighted to confirm the signing of Jordi Osei-Tutu. The 27-year-old right-back, who was training with the Lions for a couple of weeks, has now put pen to paper on a deal until the end of the 26-27 season. Osei-Tutu was most recently with Bolton Wanderers and played 42 times in all competitions in the Trotter Sky Bet League One playoff winning campaign, scoring 4 times. Prior to that, the Arsenal Academy product, Osei-Tutu, spent time on loan at Bochum, Cardiff City, Nottingham Forest, Rotherham United, then opting to join Bochum on a permanent basis and playing out a loan spell at Ionia in the Greek Super League before his time at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. We are pleased to sign Jordi Osei-Tutu, said Steve Gallen, Mill's Director of Football. Jordi has been in training with us for 2 weeks and is an experienced fullback. He's quick and very good 1v1 defender. Jordi will provide good cover for us in both the right and left back positions, he added. So there you go. They were working on it all the while. He was there at the training ground for the last 2 weeks. So there you go, all you people moaning, it was being worked on. So who are you? Who are you? Well, of course, the first thing you go to is the Wikipedia, because that's always correct. So here we go. Jordi Martin Emmanuel Osei-Tutu. He's 27 at the moment, but his birthday's in October, so he's going to be 28 in October. So what's that? Scorpio? Is that Scorpio? I don't know. This is his career. Arsenal youth. Says he didn't play for them. I think he did play for the under-21s in that EFL trophy. Does that count? Bochum loan, Cardiff loan, Forest loan, Rotherham United loan. That's in the same season. The Nottingham Forest loan, if you read the words, he got cut short because he was struggling with injuries. So here we go again. And again, loaned to Cardiff City. After 7 appearances, he had suffered a serious hamstring injury in mid-October and kept him out of the team since then. So yeah, plagued with injuries until recently. So maybe he's turned a corner. After was let go by Arsenal, signs for VFL Bochum. He had a good loan there. What was that? 5 years earlier, and decided, you know what? Let's go back there. Plays a few times for them. 1 season, 2 seasons. Second season he's out on loan to the Greek Super League. And then he comes back to England. Bolton Wanderers is there for 2 years. And then now he's signed for Millwall. So he's back in London. What a long and winding road of a career. But they signed him. So VFL Bochum signed him on a 3-year deal. But at the end of the second year, 22nd of January 2024, they loan him out. And then they sold him to Bolton for an undisclosed fee for a 2-year deal. So Bolton paid money for him. Obviously, they're in League One, so we don't know what that is. And he was born in Slough. He's the younger cousin of Lloyd Owusu. So there you go. He's a fullback and a winger. And he kind of... Obviously, I don't really know him. I'm just assessing it from the outside looking in. It seems to me that he's kind of a cross between Wes Harding and Zach Lovelace. The injuries included. He is a player that can play at defensive fullback, both sides, but also further up on the wings. So there you go. Good player to have in the squad. He can cover a few positions as long as he's fit. And recently, the last season was the season that he's played the most games, and we can We can look at that right here, right now. This is from fbref.com. So we'll have a look at that and have a little look. This is his career in numbers. Here we go. So as a 17-year-old playing in the 2016-17 season for the under-21s. He didn't play because there's no numbers here. So I think that means he was an unused substitute on the bench. Again, unused substitute in the Premier League. Did they do that to try and get him to sign a contract? Yeah, we know that kind of thing goes on. So they put him on the subs bench and say, "Oh look, you could be in the first team." It's like, well, that didn't happen. He was as an 18-year-old playing for the under-21s for Arsenal as they won the league, and then the season after when they finished second. So 18 games, 1,620 minutes, scoring 2 goals, 2 assists in that season. So at that point, you're in the Arsenal youth team. You've just won the league, and you're thinking, okay, here we go. What's happening here then? What are my chances? But even at that level, this is the long and winding road of his career. Bochum loan, Cardiff loan, Rotherham loan, Nottingham loan, back to Bochum, off to the Greek Super League, and then off to Bolton, of all places. So there you go. I mean, but at least he's earned a living. He's earned a living in the game, and here he is again. But if you look at the numbers, you can see. So off to now. This is Bundesliga 2, so this is the second division in Germany, not Bundesliga number 1, Bundesliga 2. Although this was in Bundesliga, the top division. This was in the second division. So when he went on there on loan, originally as a 20-year-old, during the COVID season, I don't know what they did for their COVID season. Did they finish their league or behind closed doors? I assume they did. But that might explain why he didn't play that much. If they cut it short, I don't know. But when he goes back, they're in the top division. So he's played in Bundesliga. They finished 14th, which I think is just above relegation, because I think they have 18 teams in their division. He was off the bench a lot. You can see matches played 20, but he only started 8. Played 749 minutes. So he's a squad player in the Bundesliga. The following season, they don't play him. So again, maybe he got hampered by injuries. I don't know. Doesn't play a single game for them this season. Goes out on loan to Greece. And then at the end of that season, they sell him to Bolton. But you look now, so I don't know, maybe it's the food up in Bolton, because it seemed to give him a new invigoration. He's played more minutes than he's ever played in his career in a single season. The first season back at Bolton, 24-25, League 1, they finished 8th. 15 starts, 32 matches played, 1,615 minutes, which is the second most in his career to that point. But this was in an under-21. This was age restricted, so this was in men's football. This is the most amount of minutes he's played in a season. So maybe the injuries are behind him now. 1 goal, 2 assists. Maybe they moved him back to defensive stuff, so he's not running, sprinting so hard, that kind of thing. I don't know, because it seems to be a lot of hamstring injuries. So hamstring. Obviously, that's about running. See, if you're more defensive, I assume you're running backwards. That kind of thing. So yeah, but then he has excelled himself yet again. 36 matches played, 29 starts, 5th in the league, which is in the playoffs, and they won the playoffs. 2,559 minutes in a single season, smashing his previous best. 2 goals, 2 assists. So now I don't know if they didn't offer him a new deal, or if he wanted to get more money, because now he's like, okay, look, I've proven myself. I'm backing myself. I'm fit. I can do this. And then no one came in for him, or very late. Obviously, presumably now the later that you go, you presume, well, no one wanted you, but maybe he was holding out for a certain wage and it didn't come. So maybe they did want him, but not at the money that he wanted. So you don't know how things work behind a deal, business, football business. But yeah. Now, obviously, what has he done at this level? He was on loan at Cardiff, 557 minutes in 2020-21. 6 matches played, 6 starts, 8 matches played. He was on loan for Forest when they were in the Championship in 21-22. They finished 4th, but he started 4 games, 233. But again, he got injured in that season, and then they cut short his loan in it. So, but he did get fit again, and he went on loan. These are out of order. He was Forest at the start of the season. January, comes back from his loan. Then he goes out on loan in League One. So he's certainly proven himself in League One, in the 3rd tier of English football. But, we presume that he's just coming in to be a member of the squad. He can come in at right back. He can fill a number of positions. So, if that's what he wants to do after proving that he can stay fit for a whole season, that's up to him. Or maybe, he's coming to compete, and maybe he's going to stake a claim for a place in the team. Who knows? But there you go. There's some numbers there, you get the idea. We don't need to go through it all, but that's who this guy is. He was in the Arsenal youth team, and he's had a interesting career so far, shall we say. So there you go. Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil not carried away by Mill's winning start. Well, we only won 1 game. We drew the other one. We won the tie, but we drew the game. So, calm down. Calm down. Alex Neil said he was not going to get carried away by Mill's winning start to the season. The Lions kicked off their Championship campaign with a convincing 2-0 win away at Bristol City, who were reduced to 10 men on the half-hour mark after Adam Randell was shown a second yellow card. Josh Coburn scored a brace with goals either side of half-time, while Carol Lisby had a late third disallowed. It made it 2 wins from 2 competitive games for Millwall after they beat Queen's Park Rangers. Well, yeah, like I said, that was a draw. The Lions now face Norwich City at the Den, their first competitive home fixture since a 2-0 playoff semi-final defeat by Hull City more than 3 months ago. Speaking to the media on Thursday, Neil was asked if beating Bristol City represented a perfect start to the season. I'm always sort of middle ground on these things, What I mean by that is after QPR, although there's a bit of disappointment and frustration, certainly from my perspective in terms of how we performed, I didn't dwell on it too much, and I know we needed to think a couple of things to try and make it better for Saturday, which we did. But equally, I don't get carried away because we've won 1 game and we've scored a few goals, and I'm going into Saturday's game optimistic, but with an air of trepidation as usual, because I know Norwich are a very good side and we're going to have to be at it. What happened on Saturday is going to have no bearing on what's going to happen this Saturday. So we'll treat it as we do with every game on its own merits. Absolutely, and again, he says himself we only won 1 game. So he knows the score. He's a very smart man, is Alex Hill, a very smart man. Yeah. Now, moving on to this, also from southernnews.co.uk, an interview with Elkan Baggot. It's always going to be me fighting for my shirt. Elkan Baggot on why Millwall, highlights of his Indonesia career and his season goals. Goals as in aims, not goals as in scoring goals. Elkan Baggot has enjoyed every second of life at Millwall so far, but is ready to fight for his place in the starting 11. Baggot, 23, completed a move to the Lions last month from Ipswich Town for an undisclosed fee and signed a long-term deal with the club. The 6'5" centre-back has been in the matchday squad for Millwall's first 2 fixtures of the season, although he is yet to make his debut. Well, maybe against Cambridge. Keep an eye on that. Speaking exclusively to News at Den, Baggot reflected on his time at SC16 so far. Oh, it's been amazing. It's probably still counted as early in pre-season when I joined, and there's definitely enough time to settle in with the squad. It's also nice to play some pre-season games. Playing games is really good for new players in pre-season because I feel like it really helps you settle in more and you start building relationships with teammates on and off the pitch. I've really enjoyed every second of it so far. Baggot was a long-term target for the Lions, who tracked him while he was on loan at League One Blackpool 2 seasons ago. I remember during my time at Blackpool, I heard a few things from my agent at Millwall watching my games, and this summer at the start of the window, that's when I found out they were seriously interested, probably about a month before I joined. That sort of timeline. Other clubs were interested in Baggot, but as soon as he heard of the Lions' interest, he told his agent to get the move to SC16 over the line. Mill's recent success was a factor, as was their record of developing young players. They've done really, really well with the players who are a similar age to me. I can name Tristan Crammer as a perfect example of that. And we're a very similar age, and he's obviously come in and done extremely well. The track record's there. That comes from the manager and the director of football, Steve, bringing in that profile player and developing them. And you can see the success of that now. Femi as well. He's another example of a player very similar in age to me, who's come here and kicked on. So it was like a really, really attractive prospect, really. The move is a significant step for Baggot, who had been at Ipswich since he was 14. He made his first team debut 4 years later in 2020, then spent the following 3 seasons on loan. Baggot was brought into the first team picture last summer, with several established centre-backs already at the club. He served as Ipswich's 4th choice during their promotion-winning campaign, making just 2 cup appearances. I'm not going to lie, it was frustrating at the start of the year when I was told I was going to be 4th choice centre-half. You usually get maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games by the time the season finishes. The centre-halves at Ipswich, though, there were no injuries and no suspensions, so I didn't get much game time at all last year. In that sense, it was frustrating. But on the other side of the coin, I was at a team that got promoted from the league. I'd been around it all year, so there was a lot of lessons that I learned from that too, and it was really good to be around a promotion environment. He may not have made his Millwall debut yet, but Baggot already leads Millwall in one category, Instagram followers. Most of the Lions squad operate in the 15 to 30,000 range. Baggot has 2.2 million. Wow! The reason behind his celebrity? The 28 caps he's garnered for Indonesia, which he qualifies for through his mother. Indonesia is a massively passionate country about football. There are a lot of people here, hence the followers and the engagement that I get from social media. When I got this move, there were a lot of positive comments and stuff from Indonesians, which is really nice, and I really love that side of my career as well, playing for Indonesia. A lot of guys say it, but truly the highest honour in football is playing for your country. I've been to some weird and wonderful countries that I thought I never would have gone to, and there's that side of it, and the playing for your country and the pride that I get from that is amazing as well. Baggot made his international debut in November 2021 and has mostly been a regular since, although there was a 2-year lull between 24 and 26 when he was not selected. Asked about his favourite memories of international duty, Baggot said, we played Argentina in a friendly once after they'd won the World Cup, and I think we were their first or second friendly, so that was like an amazing experience. And I would probably say when we qualified for the round of 16 in the Asian Cup, it was like the first time in the history that we'd gone that far, and that's probably the best memory I have. The timing of Baggot's move meant he was able to jet out to Spain to join the squad for the second half of their week-long training camp. That was really important, Baggot said. I was close to joining sort of before the lads went to Spain. I was actually supposed to go to Spain, but then I think there were a few more things that needed to be done with the deal. And I kept telling my agent I was desperate to get out of Spain just because of how important that bonding time is. And thankfully I was able to join for the last couple of days there, and obviously played 30 minutes in that game as well. Baggot has now spent over a month with his new teammates and has nothing but positive things to say. The lads have made me feel really welcome since I've been in. I'd say the majority of the lads are a similar age to me as well. So it's been really easy to settle in, and I've really enjoyed my time here and my time with the lads too. He's also had plenty of time to work with his new head coach, Alex Neil. The thing that I've learned about him since coming here is obviously everyone says about 3 points on Saturday is the most important thing, but the work and the detail he goes into to make sure we get those 3 points on a Saturday are details I've not seen before. Alex Neil coached one of the best defensive units in the Championship last season. The Lions conceded the 4th fewest goals in the division, 49, the fewest away goals, 24, and kept the most clean sheets, 18, with the centre-back pairing of Caleb Taylor and Jake Cooper firmly established by the second half of the season. Coming to a team that was defensively amazing last year, it was always going to be me fighting for my shirt. I'm aware of that challenge. For me at the moment, it's about doing the best I can in training, and then when I do get opportunities, taking it and make sure that shirt's mine. With Baggot now settled in as Millwall get into the full swing of the season, he shared his goals for the campaign. Oh, the main hope is to get promoted. After last season coming into this year, that's an obvious goal. For myself, it's to try and get myself into the team and then get as many games as possible and hopefully help the team get promoted. So there you go, Elkan Baggot there, Indonesian legend. From the southwarknews.co.uk. Now, here we go again. Another partner. Millwall have got more partners than a Mormon in Utah. Like, what are we doing here? Making money, I guess. This is from millfc.co.uk. Mill announced Powerade, not Lucasade, Powerade, as official hydration partner. So there you go. Carabao Sport is out. Powerade is in. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce a partnership with Powerade as the line's official hydration partner. This partnership will see Millwall players and staff fueled by Powerade and Smart Water throughout the season. The club has also renewed its long-standing agreement with Coca-Cola, meaning supporters can continue to enjoy Coca-Cola, Sprite and Fanta products around the ground on match days. Oh, thank God. Oh my God. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that fantastic? As part of the new deal, Powerade will also be available to fans within the stadium. The partnership arrives at an exciting time for the club's fan zone, which will receive a large upgrade in September. As part of the deal, Powerade will sponsor the SE16 bus bar within the new and improved fan zone and will provide additional seating and tables for supporters to enjoy on match days. Why is that? To drive sales. That's clearly to drive sales of the products that they are selling. Of course, why not? Elsewhere around the ground, Kiosk 11 next to the fan zone is being upgraded and rebranded, courtesy of Coke Zero, and fans can look forward to sampling from both Powerade and Coca-Cola across the season in the fan zone and around the den. What do you mean sampling? So they're going to give out free samples? Ooh. The partnership also builds on the club's Lion Living sustainability commitments. Millwall have been steadily introducing post-mix pours across the ground to replace plastic bottles, with bag-in-box post-mix units already delivering thousands of litres of soft drinks last season alone, significantly cutting down on plastic packaging waste and reducing the club's carbon footprint. Oh, that's amazing. Isn't that amazing? So we won't be able to throw plastic bottles at people anymore, because they're getting rid of them. They're going to have like the old the cups that you get from McDonald's. And there's a quote there. There's a quote, so I'm going to cut it for time. We've got a lot to talk about today. Right, now, had another look. They have now put up the subscription for the programs for the whole season. Now, that would suggest that we are going to have 23 programs, because it's 145 quid, and that is a hefty addition to cover for the postage and packaging. Because if you do the maths, 23 programs times £4, that's something like, 96 quid, something like that. So that's an hefty, obviously it works out around about £2.30 for each postage, but they do promise they will give you a program for every game. So any cup game. So if we do have a cup run, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, 6th round, if they're all at home, you're going to get an extra 4 programs in the Carabao Cup. We've got a supposedly winnable game away at Cambridge. In the 3rd round, if we're at home. In the 4th round, 5th round, if we're at home. That could be another 3, so it could be another 7. So they're kind of covering their backsides a little bit. Obviously, mathematically, that's unlikely, but they do have to do that, don't they? So, yeah, you can buy a subscription and get every single program sent out to you. And I will say, when I did this, they were very good, because once one of them didn't come, and I contacted them, and they did send a replacement. And then about 3 weeks later, it eventually turned up. Whoops, but they did cover that, so they are very nice like that. So yeah, there you go. And it does look like it might be for every game, because they're already selling the one for the Wrexham game. They're already taking you can buy that individually. So maybe it is for every game. Again, the phrase match by match, that doesn't suggest every game to me. It's like if you go, someone's in intensive care, doctor, how are they? Oh, well, it's going to be a bit rough. We have to take it day by day, which means you look each day to see how they're doing. So match by match, you take it match by match. Like, we don't know, but that seemingly they mean every match. But it's probably too late for this. But may I make a suggestion? If anybody's watching this, let's have a look at the fixtures. So a suggestion. What do you think I'm going to suggest? Well, let's have a look. Can you see what I am seeing? You look at the fixtures here. We obviously play in the Championship. We've got extra games than compared to the Premier League. We have a lot of Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Have a look here. Saturday, away to Southampton. Wednesday, home to Wrexham. Saturday, home to Bolton. 3 days, Wednesday to Saturday, 2 home games, back to back. Why don't you double bubble and do one programme for 2 games? You squish them together. One programme that covers 2 games, because the stuff between each programme doesn't really change that much. The chairman's notes, the manager's notes, the fixtures, the results, the stats, the player profiles, the player sponsorships, that kind of thing. Information about the games coming up, ticket sales, etc., etc., etc. And the only thing that changes, these are today's opponents. They've got this player that used to play for us. He's in their squad at the moment, and in the past there are this player that played for both teams. That kind of thing. Obviously, you have like every now and then historical pieces that are like evergreen. They don't have to be published for that edition. They can go in anyone. Like history about Robert Hunter, Jimmy Constantine, that kind of thing. About the former grounds, that kind of thing. Doesn't have to be in that program. The only thing, remember the message boards. Obviously, you can double that up. So it's not going to take, I say double bubble. I don't mean like a double edition. It's going to be twice as thick. It's going to be like an extra 5 pages, extra 10 pages at the most. And if you go through the fixtures, there's 5 occasions where you could do this. You could double bubble. So instead of having to make 10 programs, you make 5. How about that? So obviously 13 normally, and 10 of them will be double. Not only that, but this will always involve a midweek game. And what's the problem with the midweek games? We have less fans that come to midweek games. For the Saturday game, you'll get 17,000, 18,000. For the midweek game, because they're all on Sky Sports Plus now, you'll get 13, 14, and that's not even real, because that counts season ticket holders that don't turn up. So doing it like this will always involve a midweek game. And if we go down, we can see the occasions where that will happen. There's one right here. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. Tuesday, home to Swansea. Saturday, home to Lincoln. Early kickoff. So that's another problem about early kickoffs, where there's a few less fans able to turn up. There you go. How about that then? There's another one, and you go down. I think the next one is at Christmas, So during Christmas, 29th of December, Portsmouth at home. A few days later, Friday, at home, Wolverhampton Wanderers. There you go. Why not? Why don't you do that? If you're trying to save costs, obviously, like I said, it's probably too late for this season if you've signed a contract with Curtis Sport and it's all done and dusted. But bear that in mind for the next season if we are still in this division. Here's another one in March. Watford, Cardiff. And then I think there's one more coming up. No, that was it. So there's 5 occasions, you know what I mean? So, you just got to use your brains, you know what I mean? There's ways to do it without just getting rid of the program, you know what I'm saying? Now, let's move on to this. New additions at the Den. And they are not talking about players. They are talking about facilities. There has been a significant amount of work completed over the summer at the Den, which will improve the matchday experience for all Millwall supporters. The North Stand change. Following a record 15 home sellouts during the 25-26 campaign, the club has extended its home capacity so even more Millwall supporters can enjoy every bit of action at the Den. This segregation will host nearly 2,000 Millwall fans. The North Stand has been split into the middle. Home fans will be in the sections 24-26 and 52-54, with away fans situated in sections 21-23 and 49-51. Very interested. I'm very interested in seeing how this works, because we'll now have Millwall fans on all 4 sides of the ground. You would hope that will give us an advantage. Although, I must say, there's still a lot of tickets available in the North Stand. It seems not to be very popular. Maybe people don't know that that's happened. Like, not everyone's online all the time. They got things to do. So they're looking, or maybe they just don't want to go in the North Stand for the Norwich game. I'm sure they'd love to go in there for the West Ham game, or the Charlton game. The naughty boys will love to do that. But at the moment, there's still a large chunk of. So maybe that's where the tourists are going to go if they rock up on the day trying to get a ticket. Although is there going to be a few tourists? It is August, so maybe there are a few tourists. Though. Maybe they're going to go in there, I don't know, but we'll see how it comes out. I'm very interested to see this. Introduction of hostile vehicle mitigation barriers. Isn't it great to live in modern Britain, where you have to install something called a hostile vehicle mitigation barrier? As part of the club's ongoing commitment to supporter safety, barriers will now be used at designated road closures around the Den on match days. These purpose-designed safety barriers will provide enhanced protection for supporters and pedestrians while maintaining necessary access for emergency and authorised vehicles. Supporters should follow the directions of stewards and staff when approaching or passing through these areas. They will be set up 3 hours before kick-off and deployed 2 hours before kick-off. Hang on. Set up and then deployed. What's the difference? Who knows? I don't know. What's the barrier then? Is it like a chicane? I guess we'll find out tomorrow. But vehicle access. All vehicle movements through Gate 2 will cease 60 minutes before kick-off. So if you are one of the people who do have a parking spot in the Den, you get to go. You have to get there 60 minutes early. Well, at least 60 minutes early, or at least 61 minutes early. After that, 59 minutes they won't let you in. Gate 3 will cease 75 minutes prior to kick-off, and there will be a barriered chicane system. So yeah, it does look like it's going to be a chicane system for drivers to follow around to the exec boxes in the Dockers stand, creating a clean pedestrian area for the fan zone. Both gates will then reopen circa 15 minutes after the final whistle. So there, 15 minutes after the final whistle. So that explains a lot why so many people leave early. Because if they don't leave early, they're going to be stuck until 15 minutes after the game. New turnstiles in the CBL and Docker stands. The club have installed fully automatic turnstiles in the southeast corner of the stadium at C23 and C32 and increased the number of turnstiles from 3 to 4 in the CBL stand and from 6 to 10 in the Docker stand. This should significantly improve flow rates and reduce queues. Well, it will until, for some reason, all of a sudden, there's about 100 to 200 extra kids tickets being sold, and then you're going, "Whoa, where are all these children? I only see grown men." Yeah, and then you'll go back to, you'll have to. What they'll do is like what they do at the self checkout. So they have the self checkout, but then they have people standing there making sure you're not stealing stuff. Why don't you just fucking put them on a till and make it fucking normal like it used to be? That's what they're going to do. You know they're going to do that. Isn't technology wonderful? Here we go. There have been several updates to the van zone as the new layout is as follows. So there you go. We've got a little map. Now I was confused at first because I thought these were houses. I was like, these lines, no, that's the roof. That's the roof of the den. You can see on the top left the green, that's the pitch. And then this is the roof of the stands. Oh, okay. Because on a planning map, these look like this is what houses look like, but no, it's not a house. So, proposed layout and extended footprint. The purple is the bars, the green is the food units, the pink ones are MFC, the screen stage is in red, and what is blue? Blue is wet weather, but there's no blue. But I think that's what's supposed to be the orange thing. The orange thing is like a cover. It's like tarpaulin that they're gonna put up. I don't think it's there yet. Is it gonna rain tomorrow? I haven't checked. Here we go. The wet weather coverage is orange and not blue, and represents the new flexi tents. The blue marquee has been removed. They've removed it and put it orange there. Is it going to be? Oh, is it going to be? Is it going to say Fanta on it? Is it sponsored? They're going to try and sell some Fanta, and are currently in the process of installing 2 large flexi tents. This will increase wet weather cover from circa 100 meters squared to 500 meters squared. So they 5x'd it. The legs have now been installed for us to take point and weight measurements for the tent. Will remain in situ until the tent cover and festoon lighting are installed in mid-late September. So yeah, orange. That's probably because it's sponsored by Fanta. Orange. Did they have blue? Powerade is blue. Why don't they get a blue Powerade? Powerade is blue. The colours for Powerade is blue. The main one is blue. Why can't they do a blue thing and sponsor it with Powerade? It don't make no sense. And presumably that's why it's late, because they just done the deal. So they were waiting to do the deal to get the sponsorship on it. And that's why it hasn't been done yet, because all the other stuff that Mill have done on their own, it's been delivered, more or less, you know what I mean? The merch store has now been moved next to the Mill Supporters Club and Food Donation Hubs. This will aid with smaller queues in front of the turnstiles at B14 to B18. A 40-foot bar and a 30-foot bar have been added, which will increase service points from 9 to 17. Significantly increasing speed of service. The 40-foot bar will be in place for the Norwich City game, and the 30-foot bar will be installed during the international break, which is after the West Ham game. There will be an additional 2 food stalls, which will be periodically changed, on a match-by-match basis, plus the existing coffee stall and ice cream van when the weather supports this. So, literally, that never again. Well, maybe for a little bit in October and never again. The bus stop is being upgraded and will have 4 new speakers providing enhanced audio across the site, as well as 2 new 85-inch TVs. Wow! Under the tent nearest the stadium. There will be a new beer barrel poser tables, as well as the existing Forester tables, which I think that's the picnic style table ones. That's what they're called. The works are phased, with all changes to be completed by the Swansea City fixture. Once finalised, it will be a great addition to the match day experience, and the plan is for it to open at pre-match, half-time and post-match. Is it going to be locked up? They can lock it up. So it acts as an extra point, so an external point of the stadium, like an outdoor part of the stadium. So it's going to be like caged up. So they'll let you go out into it at half time. That's a good idea. So then, people without tickets can't be outside and then go into it. Or maybe it won't be caged up, but they'll just have staff there that will stop people without tickets from milling around there and then coming back in afterwards, because you can't be checking tickets. Or maybe the turnstiles will let you back in. They're automatic. Surely they can do that with the computers these days. You scan yourself out, you scan yourself back in. Why not? Although, I must say, I heard a story last season with West Ham. Was it one of their games where they were losing, the cup game or something? They were losing, and everyone fucking bolted. They were 3-0 down. Everyone fucking started to leave. Then they scored a couple of goals, but people are quickly, because they're still outside, they tried to get back in. The turnstiles won't let them back in because they've already scanned their tickets. Yeah, I don't think they can do that, because then you scan your ticket, you hand it to someone else outside through the little hole there, and they'll be able to get in. I don't think they'll be able to do that. I'm not sure. Yeah, they won't be able to do that. So they have to like ring fence it outside once the game's going on, and then it can act as an external part of the stadium where the only people inside that area will be people with tickets. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Other changes. Over 70 new tickets. 70? Where? Are they going to be on the ceiling, on the floor? In the toilets? Where are they? Maybe in the toilets, so all the people smoking can watch the game. What a great idea. What a great idea, you know. They spend the whole game in there smoking. If you can't beat them, let them watch the game. Put it in there. Why not? Improve segregation of the disability viewing area. What does that mean? Segregation. You want to keep the disabled people separate from everyone else. That's not very PC. That's not very woke. What's going on? I thought you were getting all woke this season. You want to segregate the disabled? Oh, that's a bit 1950s. Enhanced matchday medical cover, including increased number of AEDs, defibrillators. New handrails for the seating deck to be installed in the coming weeks. What does that mean? What's the seating deck? I don't know. But they have new handrails. So there you go. You get the idea with that. What is it? What a lot of effort's been gone into that. So, you know, you've never had it so good. Right. Let's get going. 42 minutes, blimey. Finally, we're going to start talking about the game. Oh, let's get back up. So supporters information. Obviously, this is the first home game. Obviously, there was a pre-season friendly, but I didn't go to that. I'm sure a lot of you didn't go to that. The crowd wasn't very big. I would have gone to it if they would have opened the upper tier, but they decided not to. I don't like sitting in the lower tier, and judging by the pictures, I made the right choice because they crammed everyone in like sardines. Like, why are you doing that? Why would you do that? Support information ahead of the game. Yeah, where we go. Now, this is the thing. The club will honour the life of Kenny Jackett prior to kick-off at 12:17. A video tribute will be played on the big screen shortly after the players and officials walk out. At 12:27, a PA announcement will start, followed by moments of applause. So there you go. Please be aware that the temporary multi-way traffic lights are in place on Ilderton Road. Okay, here's the opening hours. 9:30, because it's an early kick-off. It is an early kick-off. Don't turn up at 3 o'clock. 9:30 for the ticket office, 9:30 for the Lions store, 10 a.m. for hospitality entrances, 10:30 for the captain's bar, 10:30 for the van zone with a DJ from 10:30 to 12:15 and back at half time. 10:30 for the clubhouse. 11 a.m. turnstiles open, so that's 90 minutes before kick-off. Ticket office reopens at 2:15, which is after the game. Lions store closes at 5 p.m. Now, yeah, please be aware that there are temporary multi-way traffic lights are in place on Ilderton Road between Rollins Street and Stockholm Road junctions due to ongoing cable installation works. Of course, this whole road, like I told you the other day, it's completely messed up. It's going to be messed up for probably every week for the many years. They've got so much building work going on. So much infrastructure. Every building work that gets granted Section 106, they get money. What do they have to do with the money? They have to fuck around with the roads. That's what they do. They just piss it up the wall. I think some councils have tried to ask that they can be allowed to use it in other parts of the borough, but you know, it's ridiculous. They got all the building work going on the same road. They're all paying Section 106 money. What are they supposed to do? Like pave the roads with gold? Like what are they supposed to do? There's too much money to do stuff unless they can bank it and put it in a trust and make sure they get spent in the local area in the future. But again, I don't know how that works. Tickets, obviously, it's not sold out yet. The Norwich game is not sold out, like I said, but they have added 2,000 seats for Millwall fans in the away end, and that is where there is a lot of seats still left. So I think they said like 500, 600, and there are. If you want to sit anywhere else in the ground, especially in the West Upper, the East Upper, you have to do the resold tickets that season tickets are selling. Season ticket holders are selling. If you go to the ticket office, 1 to 10 is home ticket sales, presumably for the Norwich game, but also for the Wrexham game. That's on sale. Window and home ticket and Southampton away collections. Window 11 is inquiries only. Round the back at the Colwell Lane ticket office, it's match programmed, so they're only selling match programs in window 12. So they've got a specific window for that. The match program is back. Windows 13 to 16 home ticket sales only. And then they're talking about the new turnstiles. Sensory packs, ear defenders and audio commentary can be provided to supporters by contacting Joe Bolton, the club's disabled liaison officer. Email, you have to book it 48 hours prior to match day, so that's too late for this, so thanks for that. Several changes here, we know about that. The exec lounges will be in full swing. Does that mean they're fully sold out? Who knows? Presumably. If you are going to the boardroom, the Club 1885, number 11 or Docketies, you have to enter via the Barry Kitchener stand. If you're visiting the boxes, then you enter via the Docker stand. If you need additional help entering, ask someone or look at the supporter guide. Car park. Again, we've already mentioned this. Gate 2, which is Stockholm Road, is 60 minutes. You have to get there 60 minutes. So you have to get there an hour early. Now, that's a bit cheeky. They're trying to get you there so you spend money on drink. Obviously, if you're driving, but if there's other people in the car, yeah, I don't know. Gate 3, Senegal Road, is 75 minutes prior to kick-off, and vehicles will be denied entry after this time. Well, does that include the players? That'll be funny, won't it? Alex Neil. Where's Zach? Where's Zach Sturge? Where is he? This is David Liver. Just got a message off him, boss. He can't come in. He's because he was late. They won't let him in with his car. Get him fucking in here now. Yeah, that'll be fun. The players turn up late and they won't let them in. Rules is rules. I mean, you know. They got a supporter guide. Catering upgrades, right. A new addition for 26-27, the Junior Lions Stamp Initiative! Junior Lions will be able to collect stamps from the Cub House and Zampa family stand, with exciting rewards up for grabs with the more stamps collected. For the full Junior Lion guide, click the button below. There will be a face painter in the Zampa family stand from 11 a.m. So there's going to be one face painter in the stand 90 minutes before. So do they use a spray? Are they like got to be moving some there? There's going to be at least fucking 200 kids. If they all want their face painted, what's going on there? I don't know. Maybe they spray the paint onto a towel and then just rub it on their face and rub it off on their face. I don't know. Yeah, maybe fucking one face painter. Jeez. You know, surely they all don't want to. Only the little kids want to get their face painted. I'm sure, you know, the ones that are older, that'd probably be too cool for that. Reminds me of face painting. He's been forever tainted by that episode of Phoenix Nights, the face painting. I can't. Whenever I think of face painting or see it, I just think about that episode of Phoenix Nights. So, if you know, you know. The matchday program is back. Obviously, you can't bring your own alcohol onto the premises. We all know that. Stewards will be strictly monitoring that. Obviously, the bag thing is still in place. The bag drop. You can't bring bags in, etc., etc. Yeah, so there you go. Right, so let's go back up the supporter guide. Let's have a little quick look at this. Although, I mean, we're already 15 minutes in. I've got a feeling it's going to take a while. We're not going to go through all this. We might go for... Shall we have a look at this properly on Sunday? Because we're going to have a lot of time on Sunday to go through this. They've put this thing together. I don't know if it's for home fans or away fans. Maybe a mix of both. Maybe it's just for general public. Someone's never been to the game before. And they're thinking, maybe I should go. But then, if they don't know someone who goes, how are they going to go? It might be a bit daunting for them, these snowflakes, these Gen Z snowflakes. Trains and buses and motorways, whatnot. Bike. There are free bike parking spots available outside the line centre. That's using your own bike. What about hire bikes? Where do they dump them? Because that could be a problem. Especially if there's like a strike or cancellation. Where do they dump the line bikes? There's all the station, the bus stops that are around the ground within a reasonable walk. I mean, some of them are a bit far, to be honest. Bush Road, that's quite a way away. Warndon Street, obviously you would go to the Rotherhithe. The thing is, right, so you go to the Rotherhithe New Road one, you check the sign, the dot matrix sign. If you've got enough time, walk up to the next stop so you get on, especially if there's like a crowd forming, so you're able to get on to the bus when it's still empty, especially the one, because it comes from Canada Water, so it'll be mostly empty. So you just check the sign. If it says probably 5 minutes or more, walk up to the next stop, and then you'll be able to get on without the bum fight. Tickets, etc., all group tickets. Purchasing 10 or more tickets entitles you to a discounted rate. There you go. So if you've got 10 friends, you get a discount. How about that? E-tickets, ticket prices. There you go. The clubhouse. Oh yeah, that's where I was wondering where the clubhouse is. Oh yeah, it's like the little thing in the Lions Centre where the kids can run around and throw balls at each other. Yeah. That's where that is. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you get the idea with that. Bag drop. Yeah, we know about that. All that stuff. See-through bags and all that rubbish. Hospitality. Yeah, salt and pepper. It's fancy. They got salt and pepper. There's the mascot without a human being in it stuck behind the thing, which when you see that is very creepy. Don't let the kids see that. They think he's dead. He's died. Obviously the Lions store. There you go. There's the opening times. Etc. Food and drink. That's the old... Is that an old picture? This is an old picture. Yeah? That's not the new... What they've done now. The new changes. Don't think so. Food and double pie and mash in the fan zone. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. Spitfire bar. All supporters who've got a valid match day ticket. So not just members. So Aries Bar is members only. Whereas Spitfire is just anyone with a ticket. So there you go. You've got to scan your ticket to get in. You can't... No re-entry into the bar until it's reopening 20 minutes into the first half. Alright, okay. And here we go. Here are the prices. So they published the prices. Oh my... £7? £7 for a pint of beer. Oh my god, what's going on? Oh my god. $5.50 for a 0% Corona. Which is that more expensive than a soft drink? So you basically a lager flavoured soft drink. Remember Shandy Bass? That was never that expensive. Can you imagine these days if they did Shandy Bass? In a pint glass, and they sold it to you for more than the fucking Coca-Cola. Like, all Powerade is £4. But again, these prices would suggest that these are for What size though? What size is it? Is it so in terms of? They said they're not doing bottles anymore. So this isn't a bottle. This is a post mix. So like what you get at McDonald's. But what size? Small, medium, or large? Probably a medium. Better be a medium. Or better be a large. £4 fucking. Why is Coca-Cola more expensive than Diet Coke? Orange Fanta and Sprite. Why is it an extra 10p? And why have you got fucking Diet Coke and not Coke Zero? Because Diet Coke tastes like fucking shite. And Powerade. So Powerade must be in a bottle. Powerade doesn't come on the post mix. I'm sure it doesn't. So you're charging the same. You're charging £4 for a bottle of Powerade, which would be 500 mils, for the same price as a Coca-Cola in a paper cup. How does that make sense? £2.50 for a fucking chocolate bar. You're robbing bastards. You're robbing us blind. You're robbing us fucking blind. Fucking hell. What's going on? Match day timetable. If it's an early kickoff, it's a 3 p.m. kickoff, it's a 7:45 kickoff, etc., etc. There's a junior. We're not going to look at that, but you get the idea with that. Right, 56 minutes. Fuck, you know what's going on. Finally, after 56 minutes of waffling, we get to talking about the actual game, and we have the matchday mascots just for the game. Millwall versus Norwich City. Here we go. The first mascots of the season. Freya Sidons. Hobbies include horses and horse riding, playing with her friends, and going to watch Millwall. Her favourite player is Jake Cooper, and she predicts a 2-1 win for the Lions. Next up is Annalise Andrews. She likes cooking, baking. Isn't that the same thing? Maybe she should be the chef, the performance chef. Drama, shopping, and collecting pyjamas. Wow. Her favourite player is Jake Cooper, and predicts a 2-1 win for Millwall, with Josh Coburn and Jake Cooper getting on the score sheet. Next up is Archie Bates. Archie is 12 years old and loves watching Millwall, don't we all? His favourite player is Jake Cooper. Jake Cooper, very popular today. He predicts a 2-0 win for the Lions, so clean sheet there. Why not? Next up is Everly Doyle. He's 8 years old and loves football and dancing. Her favourite Millwall player is Jake Cooper yet again, and she is predicting a 2-1 win for the Lions. Next up is Jack Harris, who has got an award there for the Manager's Player of the Season. Congratulations. He is 11 years old, and his hobbies include playing football and cricket, and Jack reckons the Lions will run out 2-1 winners. Another one. We got Ray Ingram. He's 9 years old. He loves playing football and martial arts. Femi Aziz is his favourite player. We won't be seeing him tomorrow, and he thinks Millwall will win 2-1. Next up is Lewis Isles. Lewis is 11 years old. His hobbies include playing and watch football, swimming, and playing on his PlayStation. He's got two favourite players, Jake Cooper and Femi Aziz. That's not how favourite players work. And he's predicting a 2-1 win for the Lions. Next up is Ricky Ortiz. He's 7 years old. He loves playing football. His favourite player is Jake Cooper. Next up we have Gianna Ortiz. She's 8 years old, loves playing football. Her favourite player is Jake Cooper. We hope you all have a fantastic day. Well, I mean, they all seemingly love Jake Cooper. Who doesn't? He's such a dreamboat, you know, such a tall, young, handsome man. Why wouldn't you like Jake Cooper? Number 4. He's on number 4. The most appearances. I think he's got 7 to go to get to number 3. So, well, that will take place at about the end of September? The start of October? Something to keep an eye on. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, doesn't get injured. He rarely gets injured. Right, here we go. The preview from the club, from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall play their first Sky Bet Championship fixture at the den of the season on Saturday, facing Norwich City. Kick-off is at 12:30 p.m. after a successful opening day victory at Ashton Gate. Bosh. Alex Neil's side looked to build on a 2-0 win in front of a home crowd. Yes, a brace from Josh Coburn made sure the 3 points came back to London. Bazinga. Femiaziz, Tristan Kramer, Derek Mazusako, Alfred Doughty, Matisse Vase and Mihailo Ivanovic will miss out for injuries. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 injuries. Just the 6 injuries so far. We haven't even got to the end of August. Fantastic. The likes of Lyndon Dykes, Danny... Now, Acton Millwall said his name isn't pronounced Danny Bath. It's Bata? It's an Indian name apparently. Danny Bata. Bata. So yeah. Him, Elkan Baggot and Tariq Arcont will look to make their competitive debut at the Den on Saturday. It was the opening day. We don't need to... Yeah, we get the idea of that. Now, if you are abroad... in some countries, not in Scandinavia. So if you are outside of the UK, Ireland and Scandinavia, you can watch it on Millwall TV, buying a match pass for £10, 10 English pounds, translated into your currency, whatever that is. Carl Bates will be joined by Byron Webster. How about that then? So there you go. Have fun with that. Now, where will it be shown on TV around the world? Well, obviously it is an early kickoff, and that usually means it's going to be on TV, and it is going to be on Sky Sports Plus in the UK and Ireland. Around the world, not so much. It is of course going to be on Viaplay, because as I mentioned before, every single game is going to be on Viaplay. Viaplay have done what Sky Sports have done, and they are streaming every single game of the EFL. That's what they're doing. It's also being shown in Faroe Islands on TV3 Sport. So there you go. Have fun with that. Now, pre-match stat pack. Where are you pointing, bruv? Where are you pointing? Here, there, where do you want the ball? This side or that side? Make your mind up, bruv. What are you doing? Yeah, confusing. Right, here we go. Let's have a look at this. Is this good or bad? What do you think? Right. Although they did make us a mistake for the QPR game, so we'll see how maybe they're using AI, so I don't know, maybe they fucked it up. Millwall have won 3 of their last 5 league games against Norwich City, losing 2. As many victories as across their prior 22 attempts combined between 2002 and 2023. So, let's translate that. The last 5 games in the league between the teams, we have won 3, drawn 0, lost 2. And that, before that, it was 22 games, we won 3, and presumably either drew or lost the rest. So that's horrific. After winning this exact fixture 2-1 last season, Norwich City will be looking to win successive away league games against Millwall for the first time since 1989. So, again, that would be historic for them. A bit of history. That's a long time ago. Doesn't feel like it, but it is actually a long time ago. After beating Bristol City 2-0 on match day 1, Millwall will be looking to win their opening 2 league games of the campaign for the first time since 2014-15. Interesting. We haven't won first 2 games of the season in the league since more than 10 years ago. 12 years ago. So, there you go. Norwich have won their opening away league game of the season, last season, 2-1 at Portsmouth, although they haven't won successive matches since 2015-16, 16-17. So again, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Norwich City's Mohamed Toure has scored 7 goals and assisted a further 2 goals in just 4 Championship away appearances, and that includes 2 hat-tricks, and the quickest player to score to 10 away goals in the competition's history is Matej Vidra, who needed 10 appearances. That doesn't make any sense, so moving on. So there you go, mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. Right, let's have a look then. Let's have a look at this history. So, December 1920, first game between Millwall and Norwich at home. Millwall at home. 2-0 win in Division 3 South. Why not? Why not? 1949 wasn't a good year. Lost twice. Different seasons, but you get the idea with that. 53-54, 2 defeats in a row. And then 64 was a defeat in the cup. But you look at this. Without a loss. Look at this. Without a loss. It's a good old run. From 66 on Boxing Day to 1985. And then we lose in the cup. Did we take that seriously? Defeat in the league. This is in the top division, when Norwich City were actually a good team. Was it around this time they played Bayern Munich, or was that later? This was, they had some good players. They were in the top division. We lost twice to them at home. In the 2 seasons that we were there. We lose at home in 2003, we lose in 2015, and then, 3 games in a row where we don't win. 2 defeats and a draw, 0-0 draw. 2019, 2021, 2023, obviously round about this time. Presumably this is when Alex Neil was in charge. They were in the Premier League, they come down. They're down, and now they've run out of parachute money. So, there you go. And now, presumably, they're not as good as they used to be, because we beat them two years running. Last season, we lose to them. And this was a kick in the teeth for the fans, for the Millwall fans. Not the game. I think we deserved to lose. I can't remember. So this was Easter Monday. So we had the good result on Friday. Good Friday. That's why they called it Good Friday. And after that game, because Ipswich didn't play that weekend because they were involved in the FA Cup semi-final, I think, quarter-final. Who knows? Can't remember. I make a daily channel about Millwall and I can't fucking remember. But I do remember that so after that win on Friday, whatever the result was on Friday, we felt like, second place. We could get second place. And it was very much, optimism from the fans. This game was a sellout. Of course it was. And then we lose it. And that second place, the vision of second place just disappeared. Just vanished. And we're like, okay. We'll take the playoffs, We've been knocking on the door of the playoffs. Let's take the playoffs, Let's not gamble. Let's just take the playoffs. So that's my recollection of it. But so you can see it's a bit patchy. The results have been a bit patchy, but historically, it's a game we win. There's a big, a big row of wins there, and more recently it's been a bit patchy. But so it's August, right? So the game's gonna be played on the 22nd of August. How have we done against them in August? 24th of August 2017. 4-0 win. Okay. 11th of August 2001. 4-0 win. 24th of August 1985. 4-2 win. What's going on here then? Any more? 28th of August 1926. 6-1 win. Oh. What's going on here? Every time we played at home in August, we absolutely fucking smashed the granny out of them. 4-0, 4-0, 4-2, 6-1. What's that about? Is it astrological alignments? Is it the sun in Virgo, the moon in Uranus? What's going on here then? That's interesting. I'd love that tomorrow. Wouldn't you love that tomorrow? Man, if we do that, I'm going to start thinking we're going to win the league. If we beat them 4-0 tomorrow, fucking hell. Let's have some of that. Coburn hat-trick and Archon on the score sheet. Let's have that. That would be amazing. That's very weird though, Every time we played them at home in August, we've absolutely smashed them. Interesting. Isn't that interesting? Right. 1 hour and 10. Here we go. We're still going. You still going? Yeah, I'm alright. My voice is going a bit. I don't know if you can tell. Last 6. This is from whoscored.com, by the way. Last 6 games, as we know. 2 wins for us, 1 draw, 3 wins for them. This is the home games. 8 goals for us, 11 yellow cards for us, 1 red card. For them, 9 goals, 15 yellow cards. So much of a muchness, really. Much of a muchness. That draw was a 0-0. So it wasn't a score draw, it was a 0-0. And in the other games where there has been a result, only 1 clean sheet was a win for us in December 2023. We had a player sent off. No point looking at the table. We can't even look at it. So here's the thing. This is our first home game of the season. Obviously, league game last week was away. Carabao Cup game was away. This is their first away game of the season. So there you go. Strengths and weaknesses. That looks good, doesn't it? That does look good. Norwich's style, short passes, control the game in the opposition's half, attack through the middle, take lots of shots, play the offside trap, non-aggressive. Well, we'll see about that. Boys. Are we favourites? Yeah, we're favourites. 2.2 versus 3.2 and then the draw. Alright. So they don't think it's going to be a draw, the bookmakers, Bet365. What does WhoScored.com think, though? Let's have a look. What do they say? Well, here we go. Millwall kicked off their championship campaign in style last weekend, taking advantage of Adam Randell's red card to seal a comfortable 2-0 away win over Bristol City, courtesy of a Josh Coburn brace. The Lions have already overpowered championship opposition twice this season after knocking QPR out of the Carabao Cup. Indeed, that is true. Matthias Kvistgaardens 90th minute goal was nothing more than a consolation for Norwich in game week 1, as 2 late West Brom goals condemned the Canaries to a 2-1 away defeat at home on home soil. Philip Clement's side face a tough task to bounce back in London on Saturday. Interesting. So, late in the game, West Brom score 2 goals, and then they end up scoring a consolation after going 2-0 down. Are they wasting time doing tippy-tappy, pass, and then once they concede the goal, they're like, oh shit, now we have to actually try and win the game? I hope so, because that's a dog shit way of playing football. But they think the result is going to be Millwall 1, Norwich 1, Millwall 1, Norwich 1. Okay, now, moving on to this preview from sportsmole.co.uk, which I would love to read you. They put in a lot of effort, but we're just going to skip through it and just get to the prediction, because it's going to cover a lot of stuff that we've already mentioned, and we're already 1 hour, 13 minutes into the video. So, let's have a little look then. They say Millwall 1, Norwich 1. With both sides expected to challenge towards the top end of the championship this season, Saturday's meetings should provide an early indication of how they compare with one another. Millwall's opening day victory gives them momentum heading into the contest, but Norwich showed enough attacking promise despite their defeat to suggest they can compete at the Den, and we expect the points to be shared in a closely fought 1-1 draw. How do you know that? They haven't played an away game yet. We haven't played a home game yet. So we'll see how we set up at home, how they set up away. I was going to say 1-1 draw until I saw that we always beat them at home in August, and we always beat them quite handsomely. So I think we're going to win tomorrow. I think we're going to smash the fucking granny out of them now. Will it be 4? I hope it is, but I don't know. We might get lucky again, if we know the refs are, chomping at the bit with these new rules, so we might get a bit lucky. They might get a red card, who knows. But I'm probably going to go Millwall 3, Norwich 0. Millwall 3, Norwich 0. Yeah. Why not? 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 And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.